I would say I'm failing at it, kind of. So, hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole, and today I'm going to be doing the book acquiring tag. Nope, I'm going to be doing the acquiring book tag. I think that happens every tag video I do. I never know the name. Anyway, I'm not sure who started this tag, but if I figure that out, I will leave the name of their channel below in the description. I was not tagged by anyone, but that doesn't stop me. There are 10 questions, and per usual, the 10th question in this case is to tag more people, but let's start with question one. So, question one is, do you plan your book buying purchases or are they impulse buys? And I would say mine are impulse buys, but that has to do with my, I guess, philosophy behind what books I'm buying at this point. So I'll get to that later. So, question two, how do you decide what books to buy? So I decide what books to buy basically based on what I know I am enjoying reading at the time that I'm buying. So right now, I am buying mainly just classics because I've learned over the last couple years that those are the books that I'm most likely to reread, and those are also the books that I'm most likely to want to annotate while reading. So it's just helpful that I own those books. However, classics can be very expensive to buy, even new in paperback editions. And so I like to buy them used if I can. Now, question number three is, what is my philosophy on where I shop? So I don't know that I really have a philosophy on where I shop. What I can say is that at this point, because I like shopping in person, I'm starting to lean more towards independent or local booksellers versus, big stores, sellers like Barnes and Nobles. And I'm definitely trying to lean away from Amazon and online shopping because just like I like reading my physical books, I also like seeing the physical books before I buy them. Question number four is, what do you think about little free libraries? Do you like them? Why? That kind of thing. So I do like little free libraries. I think they are an awesome concept. I don't think they take away from used bookstores in any manner whatsoever because they just don't have the capacity to do so. And I think books last a really long time at this point if they're well bound and that they should be read and reread. And after a while, I know a used book becomes worthless in the eyes of people trying to sell them, but are still worth a lot to those of us who like to read. And so I love the fact that little free libraries are making books more available to everyone everywhere. Question number five is, how do you feel about acquiring books? Do you share book hauls, that kind of thing? Um, I personally don't have any problems with acquiring books. I think if people have the room and capacity and can afford it, that's their business. They need to work that out as well as anything else financial and space wise. And I like a good book haul and I like hauling books. And yeah, absolutely. I love sharing it. Question number six is, how do you feel when you look at your books that are unread? And doesn't matter if there are a lot or a little of them. So all the books that you can see behind me are all unread, with the exception of this little stack right here. And that doesn't bother me at all. I love that. I love having a library that's mostly full of books that I haven't read because I know I only want to keep long term the books that I absolutely love. But I love reading physical copies. And until the era of digital books and libraries really getting better about getting new books in, you kind of for a long time really had to own your books if you wanted to read them. So I don't have a problem owning books. I've always loved to own my books and to have them on display, and they've always been a at least 50-50 read and unread, and I feel excited when I see them. Question number seven is, how do you decide what number of unread books is the right amount? Um, I don't go by count. I personally go by space. So long as I have the space to store my books the way I would like to store them, which is on a bookshelf, then that's the right number for me. If my bookshelves become all the way full, then to me that's too many books, and I would then look at unhauling some until I had the right amount that would fit my shelves. Currently, because we're moving, I'm not at the point where I would say, oh, just buy more shelves. But in the future, that may be an option. Question number eight is, do you have a TBR game or a process for reading your books? So yeah, If you've watched other videos on my channel, hopefully you've realized that I do have a TBR game that I play each month, and that is how I choose what books I'm going to read next, in theory. And I love that. I love TBR games. I love playing mine. I love watching people play theirs. I just think it's a fun way to decide because that's probably the only part that I don't like about having so many books. And honestly, it would be a problem even if I owned no books. It's just the process of having to decide what to read next. So, question number 9 is, do you have a book buying problem? And if so, can it be adjusted? Um, as well as what is the nature of the problem? I have a book acquiring problem or a book dilemma that I'm in the middle of. And it's this, that I'm currently in the middle of doing the Read What You Own challenge, and I would say I'm failing at it, kind of. So I feel like the Read What You Own challenge itself is designed to kind of be a guided book buying ban. And I'm realizing that that's not quite what I want to do. And so the problem I'm facing is that I tend to like classics and that those are really the books that I want to buy. And some of them aren't in print anymore. And so I'm finding myself facing the dilemma of if I stop buying books altogether, I might find a classic that I really want and not be able to buy it when I see it. That's where the sort of impulse buying comes in, is when I see a classic that I really want to own, particularly in a hardcover edition, I kind of need to buy it in that moment. At least that's how I personally see it. So, can this be adjusted? Yes. So, and I'm going to talk about how I'm going to adjust my Read What You Own challenge as well, which is namely, I'm going to stop doing it. That is the last question in this tag video. So, I'm going to kind of segue real quickly into talking about how I'm going to adjust my Read What You Own challenge. So, if you were here just for the tag video, tag, you're it. If you watch this video, and you would like to do this tag video, I will leave the questions below. And like I said, if I can find it, the original video for this, and go ahead and do the tag yourself and let me know if you've done it, because I would love to watch your video. If you're interested in the changes I'm doing in my Read What You Want challenge, then keep listening. So basically, I don't even know if this is a change, but I'm ending the Read What You Own challenge for myself, kind of. So I'm not going to worry about the not purchasing books until I've read my 30,000 pages, because, like I said, in terms of classics, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to pass up a good deal on a classic now, mainly because I'm going to end up spending more money on it if I buy it later. For example, I recently went to my library's book sale, not intentionally. I went to the library and it happened to be going on, and I went and looked, and they had a whole bunch of classics on sale there, and they were a quarter each. I'm not going to find those for a quarter any other time. If I bought those books brand new, they'd probably be at least $15. And even at my used bookstore, their average price would be anywhere from $5 to $8, and sometimes like pretty close to cover price. So to me, if I can get those on sale for a quarter, that's a really good price. And again, the reason I'm trying to buy them is because I know when I read them, I'm going to annotate them. So I can't do that to a library book. What I'm going to do going forward is I'm just going to do my own book buying process. So I'm still going to maintain my goal of trying to read 30,000 pages basically by the end of the summer, because I do want to get through some of my books. But what I realized is it's not really all my classics that I'm trying to get through. It's all the books that I'm not sure if I'm going to like, namely the ones that are now on my unhaul cart. So I am going to be slightly prioritizing those more going into the future. So I will do an updated unhaul cart video sometime in the next month or two, so you can see what's on there. I tried filming a video of reorganizing my bookshelves because I did go through and do a huge clear out, but I filmed it incorrectly, so you're never going to see that. I already deleted it, so don't ask. The only other thing that I'm going to say regarding my book buying is at this point, I only want to buy books that are books that I know I'm going to want to annotate, that I'm going to have a hard time getting out of a library or finding at a used bookstore or finding new. So again, like, I don't want to say it's only going to be classics, but it's probably most likely going to be classics that I'm not going to want to have to pay full price for, and I'm going to want to annotate. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, just know that I'm planning on reading 30,000 pages between now and the end of the summer. you will see me unhauling a lot of books between now and then, and you will also see me buying probably a lot of classics, but not too many. It'll depend. We'll see. I don't know. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this tag, and I hope you enjoyed hearing my little update on how I failed the Read What You Want challenge. Because I would call it a failure. I don't think I actually should have done that challenge to begin with. Like, if I had a thought more about my own purchasing habits and why I was buying books at the time, I don't know that I would have done it. At the same time, it did help me, I guess, realize what I was purchasing and why. And I don't know that I would have come up with that before doing the challenge. So I'll say this, I'm stopping the challenge, but I don't regret doing it. So there's that. Live and learn. All right. Bye.